Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. Today we are talking about the new series by Philippa Gregory, Tidelands. And I had kind of swerved away from Philippa Gregory after her last few Tudor books because I just didn't think they were very good. So when Tidelands came out, I didn't buy it, I didn't read it. To be honest, I kind of forgot about it until a couple of months ago it came into my work and I thought, well, why not? Picked it up and started reading. And I thought it was quite refreshing to have a story about real people after years of Tudor sagas. I definitely found this book very reminiscent of Philippa's early work, especially The Wise Woman and Earthly Joys. The main character in this story is Alianor, a midwife and herbalist, and an abandoned wife with 2 children. I liked Alianor. I find her poise, though unrealistic in all circumstances. I know that is kind of the point of the character, but it made her feel less human. Maybe that's why everybody thought she was having sex with fairies. James Avery is Alianor's love interest, and he is a spy and a secret priest. He is also uppity, self-important, and contradictory, and through his actions I grew to hate him. I really despise this character. And he doesn't do anything overtly wrong, but his lack of action and his pretentiousness, they just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like him, and I didn't know how somebody like Alianor could like that side of him. But then again, she never really gets to see that side of him, apart from when she tells him that she's pregnant. And if you haven't guessed already, this review is full of spoilers, so maybe tune out if you haven't read the book. Alianor has 2 children, Ali and Rob. Ali is 13 and Rob is 9, and they could have done with a lot more fleshing out, especially Rob's character, who is meant to be smart and have Alianor's sight for herbs. There just wasn't enough of them. I did like Ali. I thought Ali was interesting, and I thought we could have done with a couple of POVs from her perspective on things, which we didn't get, even though we got Alianor's brother's Ned's perspective. In fact, Alianor's brother Ned just seems to be in the story to typicalize a Roundhead, just as much so as the Peachy Lord seems to be there just to signify Cavaliers. The whole way through the book, you are just waiting for Alianor to be accused of witchcraft. And I was surprised that it happened at her daughter's wedding. I didn't see that coming. I thought perhaps it would happen at the market. But, it was dramatic. Perhaps overly dramatic. I think it would have been more realistic if the 2 events had happened separately. So if Ali had been accused of theft, that would have been very dramatic, and then perhaps at her trial, Alianor could have been accused of witchcraft. I think that would have been more realistic and more in tone with the realism I think Philippa Gregory was going for in this book. I also thought it was very unrealistic that Alianor would not have saved herself by saying the child she was carrying was her husband's, and that he'd come back secretly and got her pregnant, instead of being ducked for a witch. The ending of this book I thought was especially dumb. Despite the shame of her mother, I do not think Ali would leave her husband. They have only got married that morning, and she is also with child. Why would she move to London with her now sick mother? That is unrealistic, as Alianor is also with child, and they know nothing about London and nobody in London. I know there is a kind of claim that James Avery is going to give them money, but I've just started reading Dark Tides, and you find out that he only sent them 1 gold coin a year, so they can't live on that. It makes absolutely no sense. It would have been more realistic, I think, for Ned, Alianor's brother, to have kicked her and her daughter, her out and her son out, and then for Alianor to perhaps become the Peachy Lord's whore, and they all would have stayed in the community. I don't think a woman in that state of health, after being ducked as a witch and about 6 months pregnant, would simply leave for London with no money and nowhere to go. sorry for the rant, but the historical inaccuracies in this were kind of bugging me. Witches didn't just leave their community after they were accused and cleared. That didn't happen because they physically couldn't. This book is also incredibly short compared to Philippa Gregory's other early work, which stand alone. This book only has 438 pages, whereas books like The Wise Woman and Fallen Skies and Earthly Joys come up around the 800 mark. So I think if she had made this book longer and filled in more of the characters with details, it would simply be a better book. I have started reading Dark Tides, simply because I want to see how this ends, but I don't hold out that much hope. It is better than her last few Tudor books, but in all honesty, that is not saying much. I would not buy these books for full price. I'm glad I got them both secondhand. I give this book 6 out of 10. And if you like this review, or you like Philippa Gregory in general, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos. I have some reviews of Philippa Gregory's other work, as well as her TV show adaptations.